Mr. Gobinathan, Mudugad, Shaila, and Praveen, Raina, and dear children. It's a great opportunity for me to be with you today. I had come here earlier. Now I see a lot of development thanks to Gobi. I mean, he has a special, not only talent, but also the patience, the character which I appreciate, and basically because I don't have the patience. So it's something wonderful. It's unbelievable to me. He has maybe developed born character with which he is running this center. So I say hats off to him. And I think that is in no way inferior to any of the scientific developments we have achieved in this country. Now coming back to my own experiences, I'll start from my college days. But let me tell you, during those days, I became an engineering graduate about 55 years back. And during my school days, there were no opportunity for do any research which we are celebrating today. We had to attend the classes and then come back home. The only thing which we do in the school will be some kind of mischief wherein either you get caught or you pay for it at home. Otherwise, there is no extracurricular activities. But today we see a lot of opportunities for research and development. But I had an experience in my engineering college. In the final year, we are supposed to have a project work. This project work is something which is required as partial fulfillment requirement of the degree. If you want to get the degree, you should do this project work properly. So I happened to choose a project which was an axial flow compressor because I had an affinity for aerospace engineering. So this compressor, we designed it, hydrofoil shaped blades, and then we fabricated it, and the fabrication includes one of the modern techniques of investment casting. And then the remaining things are fabricated and then assembled and then tested. It's a huge job. So in the beginning itself, my guide told me that you should have some people to assist you, to help you, to partner with you. But somehow, as a selfish fellow, at that time I thought that I should do it alone. And of course I did it alone, but that had cost me my rank in the class. Otherwise I would have been first. I didn't get first because of that. But the research and development I did in that period, in 1 year, helped me to get my seat in the Princeton University later, and my NASA fellowship, again it comes later. So the research which I did in my final year had helped me a lot in my own career, in my life. Now I was just asking, having a small discussion with Mr. Tangam and others, and they were explaining to me the kind of research which some of the children sitting here are doing, and then going to present some papers on that this afternoon and tomorrow. I am not aware of the exact nature of the research and development, but whatever it is a very good beginning, because you are being groomed, you are being tuned, you are being allowed to focus on certain problems, which could be as small as the behavior of an ant while walking through in the room, or it could be the flowering of a plant, or it could be how the candle burns. But that is a very small project. But I am saying, you people, you sitting here, almost all of you, according to me, are capable of doing much, much bigger projects. I'm not saying this on loose terms. Supposing if I ask some of you to draw how a Chandrayaan looks like, for example, I'm sure that most of the college class students will be able to draw how a Chandrayaan will look like. Am I correct? Correct or wrong? Now, supposing if I ask you to make a model of how a Chandrayaan, from the newspapers, from the TV serials, from various things, I'm sure you will make a model. But then, that is how the innovative ideas are planted in the minds of these people. So I was suggesting to him, of course, instead of guiding them, instead of, this is another experiment, is that you give them a project, you tell them, this is, of course I understand, here you are asked to find out a problem which suits you. That is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is that he will give you a problem and then say that this problem is defined in this manner. Now you find out the solution of it. Now both are having its own merits. Now the suggestion which I made, you will find it, in my opinion, more interesting because you will have to find the solutions. You will have to find a solution to a problem which is presented to you. So this is what every day we face problems at home. Sometimes the tap doesn't work, or the fuse is blown up, or something goes wrong in the cooking range and refrigerator, things like that. So a problem when it occurs, your mind is tuned to attend to that problem and then find a solution to that problem. This is how a scientist is born. A real scientist is really looking at the problems, and when the problem occurs, he tries to find the solutions. Once he gets the solutions, he is looking for additional problems or then advanced problems, and that is how he grows. So I feel personally that most of you sitting here, the school children, you will be able to talk about it, think about it, problems which are very high in nature. It could be, I just took Chandrayaan because that is some kind of an advanced technology. Even Gaganyaan you can think of. You can think of space stations. I'm just taking the rocket science area because I am familiar with those areas. But otherwise there are so many other problems. And the other day when I was talking among school children, one person was asking that the modern smart watches, you are able to measure the blood pressure, you are able to measure the ECG, you are able to measure these things, are they not correlatable by some equations? And if those equations can be clubbed in such a manner so that you are able to get the health condition more precisely. In similar manner, you can also find out solutions for various problems. For example, one person during the meeting there came out with a problem saying that when we sneeze, the water particles which come and hit the screen, can that be analyzed to find out what kind of problems I am leading to? Is it just a cold, or is it more than that? I appreciated the thinking process. It is the thinking which makes him to think, okay, this also can be analyzed. So I feel if you are given a free hand, I am sure that most of you will start thinking. The question is, you should be allowed, you should be encouraged, you should be asked to. I am sure that then you will start your career. as a career and then end up as a good scientist. I thank once again for the opportunity given to me to talk to you. I didn't give any elaborate lecture, but I just gave you an idea of how a scientist can be made to come into existence, then how he can be allowed to grow. And I think your teacher can be there, but he need not teach you, but you can learn all by yourself. According to me, this is what is possible. In my opinion, many of the problem solving in higher education, I have seen the teacher, the man who guides you is also part of your team, not actually a teacher in that sense. So you don't have to think of the teacher as a guide in all senses. You can learn together. Only thing is you should be focused. So I thank this opportunity given to me by Gobi, and whom I admire always, I told you. And so I'm nice to talk to you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable words.